Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
What's good, YouTube? It's Quintessential Q coming at you with an Elden Ring build video today. And I know I haven't uploaded anything to YouTube in forever and a day. We're not going to talk about that. But I'm back with an Elden Ring video showcasing a build that I like to call the Demigod of Lightning build, in honor of my friend Demigod Reviews, who unfortunately passed away, who was really looking forward to Elden Ring. His theme was like lightning and all that for his brand, so I really wanted to like make a just completely lightning build. And honestly, I did pretty good. For my first build, I did pretty good. Now, going over the build. Bolt of Grand Sax is the star of the show for me. This is a Dex Faith build, but more focused on the Dex side of things than the Faith side of things, as you will see with my stats as well. Bolt of Grand Sax plus 10 doesn't have to be plus 10 to start doing absurd damage, but eventually you're going to upgrade the weapon all the way. So, of course, Gravelstone Seal plus 20. I'm just too lazy to upgrade this all the way, but we'll do that eventually. But this will just boost Dragon Cult incantations, which lightning spells count as Dragon Cult incantations. So it's just amazing to use. It gets an S scaling in Faith, so no brainer there. Earthsteel Dagger, the dagger is not important, but that Ash of War is Royal Knight's Resolve. I'm sure a lot of y'all have probably already seen in other videos what this does, but for those that have not, Royal Knight's Resolve gives you an 80% damage buff to your very next attack. But there's a little bit of a loophole that we can use to abuse it and allow us to use multiple like weapon arts with this weapon and not use up the buff until it's fully like completed for like the 10-second duration. Fashion Souls, we got Malekith armor and gauntlets with Radahn's Greaves rocking the no helmet look. Lightning Scorpion Charm for one of our talismans, Ritual Sword Talisman, Shards of Alexander, and Godfrey's Icon. Lightning Scorpion Charm is going to give us the lightning damage. Of course, this is a lightning damage build, so no brainer there. Ritual Sword Talisman raises our attack when our HP is maximum. For the most part, you're going to be doing damage from pretty far back. Basically like a glass cannon kind of sort of build, but you do have a good amount of health, but you're basically like in the back just nuking bosses, so you know you're mainly going to be at full HP. If you want to switch any of the talismans out, I would suggest like either like this one or the Lightning Scorpion Charm, but more so this one just because like it does require you to be at full health. Some fights are a pain in the ass and that's not as viable, so like you might want something a little bit more comfy like Radagon's Sword Seal or something of that nature. Shard of Alexander greatly boosts attack of power of skills. Greatly boost the attack power of skills, excuse me. That means weapon arts, just so you know. So we're greatly boosting our weapon arts, just giving us absurd damage when we use the Bolt of Grand Sax weapon art. And finally, Godfrey Icon, one of the stars of the show as far as the like talismans are concerned. Enhanced charge spells and skills. This would include weapon art, so it includes the weapon art for Bolt of Grand Sax. Now my Wondrous Physic is mixed with the Cerulean Hidden tier, which eliminates all FP consumption, and Lightning Shrouding Crack tier, which temporarily boosts lightning attacks. As you see over there to the right, my stats are 35 Vigor, 30 Mind, 20 Endurance, 20 Strength, 60 Dexterity, 7 Intelligence, 47 Faith, and 10 Arcane. The Intelligence and the Arcane stat was just left at base. I started out as Prophet. Side note, if you start out as Vagabond, you can get this same build, but like slightly more optimized by literally 1 point. So instead of like 47 Faith, I guess you can go 48 Faith. Now, how the build works. For my spells, I have Golden Vial, Wrath of Gold, Hone Bolt, Lightning Spear, Fortisax Lightning Spear, Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike, Lance EX Glaive, and Frozen Lightning Spears. Now, the star of the show is obviously going to be Golden Vial, probably one of the best incantations in the game. It's just a straight up buff to your damage. Nobody can complain about that. So we get a buff. We buff ourselves with Golden Vial. Well, technically, we take the Wondrous Physic first so that we don't use any FP while using Golden Vial. Then we use Golden Vial, and then we switch to the dagger that has Royal Knight's Resolve. That's why it is also in my left hand. We pop, we will two-hand the dagger. So, like, you will two-hand the dagger like so. Oh yeah, I'm in the non-combat part of the area. We'll two-hand the dagger like this, pop the weapon art for the dagger, go back to dual wielding the weapons, and then use the spear's weapon art. So for a demonstration, we're going to just one-shot this giant that's outside of the volcano manor real quick. Bam. Bam. I did that out of order, don't mind me. But it doesn't really matter. The end result is still going to be the same. Bang. Straight up one-shotted him. Easy money. You saw it, 6,630 something damage around there. You can hit bosses for absurd amount of damage. The boss that, like the tutorial boss that most likely killed 99% of us, like at the beginning of the game, yeah, you one-shot him with this build. So it is absurd. If you want to switch things around so that you're using more spells instead of the spear, all you need to do is put the seal, where the spell, like where the spear is, put your Sacred Seal where the spear is, and just use your spells instead. Probably switch around your stat allocations, obviously, and instead of Shards of Alexander, just switch this with the Canvas Talisman that gives you like increased damage on incantations. You can even rock both of those, right? You can switch out the Ritual Sword Talisman for the talisman that greatly boosts your incantations if you just don't care about the little bit of extra damage you get from being at full health from Ritual Sword Talisman. That way you just always have all your damage on mine. That's also an option that you have available to you. But this is the build. A lot of people have been asking me for the build, like when I do the streams or like on Twitter when I show off the build and show off me one shot and stuff. So I thought I would do a full video. The reason why I'm not going to go into like detail where I got everything, because this video would be forever, but I can give you a quick rundown of where some of the key items are. Bolt of Grand Sax can actually be found over here in the capital. There's literally a giant version of this spear inside the capital. All you got to do is just jump out a window to the building next to the spear and just run up the spear. Side note, do not burn the Erd Tree. If you burn the Erd Tree, you will not be able to get this weapon. So if you did burn the Erd Tree and you're like, damn, I can't do this build, then there is a secondary replacement until you get to New Game Plus and I guess get the spear again, which will be the Dragon King's Crag Blade. Actually, the Dragon King's Crag Blade can do more damage than the spear, but add a caveat, right? Like, it's kind of caveat, and I'll respawn the giant to show off what I mean. Because the sword actually follows a lot of the same rules that we needed for the spear. It still does lightning damage. You can still charge the weapon art, so you get Godfrey's icon buff. So it follows all the same stuff. You look badass doing it, which is always a requirement. But the thing about it is, if you're not necessarily hitting a big target, like you can like go like and then you gotta space it right. Boom. Like, I did more damage. I did 8,500 damage. But on a smaller target like one of these guys, I won't be able to get all the hits and the explosion hit. Like, I was going to curve around that guy and then not get the explosion. Also, you got to, of course, get a little bit more up close and personal, as you're seeing with all the enemies right here. But this technically does more damage than the spear. So if you're fighting an extremely big boss or something that has like a huge hitbox, maybe you just switch out to the crag blade instead of the spear, and you will actually be doing more damage if you hit with all the cloud hitboxes. Like, when you turn into a cloud, you literally become a moving hitbox, and you hit with all the hitboxes of the cloud and then the explosion of the spear. But you're really going to only get all the hits off if you're hitting something big like one of the giants like that's out there or something like that. But that is a full breakdown of the build. Don't worry, there will be more build videos on the way. I'm actually working on another build that, maybe a strength intellect build, just to pique some people's curiosity, just because I've seen a lot of Dex builds out there, this one included, of course. So I want to like switch things up and use like a strength build that I really don't see right now. Like, you really don't see a lot of strength caster builds right now, and I mean, there's a reason why, but I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. But until the next video, deuces.